Okay, so now we're going to go from having the equation to actually filling in the table. So for this first example, it gives us the equation y equals 2x plus 12. And to solve for our y values, we are going to plug in the x values to that equation. You can see our x's are in the left column. So what we're going to do first is multiply those by 2. 2 times 0 is 0, and then add the 12. Plus 12 is 12. Do it again for 1. 2 times 1 is 1, plus 12 is 14. For 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 12 is 16. For 3, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 12 is 18. And finally, for 4, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 12 is 20. So all you're doing here is plugging in the x values to the equation. The same thing goes for y equals 4x plus 6. This time we're going to multiply by 4 and then add 6. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 6 is 14. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 6 is 22. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 6 is 30. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 6 is 38. And 4 times 10 is 40, plus 6 is 46. So we're plugging those values in. The next one looks a little bit different because it has a decimal coefficient of 0.5. You need to know that that is half. So we're taking half of x, which is the same thing as dividing by 2. Well, if we divide 0 by 2, we still get 0. And add 12 gives us 12. If we divide 5 by 2, that gives us 2.5 plus 12 equals 14.5. If we divide 10 by 2, we get 5 plus 12 is 17. Half of 15, or 15 divided by 2, is 7.5 plus 12 gives us 19.5. And half of 20 is 10 plus 12 is 22. So we're plugging in those values. When we look at these bottom 3 examples, we're going to do the same thing. Take half of x and then add 8. Half of 0 is 0, plus 8 is 8. Half of 2, or 2 divided by 2 is 1, plus 8 is 9. Half of 4 is 2, plus 8 is 10. Half of 6, or 6 divided by 2, is 3, plus 8 is 11. And half of 8, or 8 divided by 2, is 4, plus 8 is 12. When we look at the next 2 examples, we can see that there's no bonus number. There's no plus anything, so all we have to do is multiply x by that coefficient. So we're going to be multiplying all these x values by 45. And then that is all, since there's no plus or minus anything. And then on the next example, we're going to be multiplying them by 215. And we don't have to multiply anything. So going back to y equals 45x, if we do 45 times 5 for x, it gives us 225. 45 times 10 is 450. 45 times 15 is 675. 45 times 20 is 900. And 45 times 22 is 990. Then if we look at y equals 215x, We're multiplying 215 times our x values. 215 times 5 is 1,075. 215 times 10 is 2,150. 215 times 15 is 3,225. 315 times 20 is 4,300. And then it goes down to 4. 215 times 4 is 860. So if you're having to fill in tables, all you do is plug in those x values to the equation and solve it. And we're going to skip the bottom 3 practice questions on this page.